Welcome to Ms. Enjoy's Spiritual Life Advice channel, the place for spiritual and general life advice. A list of services provided and instructions for making appointments, payments, or donations is provided in the channel description as well as in the description of each video. If you like my channel, please don't forget to like, subscribe, follow, and share. And always remember to enjoy life. For statement 5, if you're still here, I'm going to jump into some definitions that'll help you to understand some of the things that I'm going to be talking about. I'm going to also have guest speakers in the future, so this will help you understand what they're talking about. And of course, there'll be other definitions and probably a whole another video that just consists of definitions because I have like a big list. And we'll go from there. So, I'm going to start with words to know, and I hope that everybody can read this clearly. The first thing I wanted to start with, and I also have my Webster Dictionary here, so that if I need to, I can refer to and read the actual definition of certain things. So I have words to know over here, and well, all the way to here. We're going to start with the two major words, the reason that we're here, and a lot of people don't know the difference between these two words. So that's why I decided to start here. Spiritual and religion. These are the two that I wanted to read you an actual definition of for today. Webster's Dictionary defines religion as the belief in and worship of God or gods, a system of religious beliefs and practices. Now, spirituality is defined, or well, spiritual, because then it just breaks down into your different uses of the word. Of relating to or consisting of spirit, not bodily, not material. And this is where people get confused, because actually one has absolutely nothing to do with the other. Religion, like they said, it's a worship. It's a honor, a praise, and an offering of your time, attention, love, and dedication and devotion to something outside of you, an external force. Spirituality is a completely different issue. It is an internal. And I know someone out there is thinking, well, God is with me. No, not really. It's more like a networking. More like you are a part of the gods. Just like we are a part of each other. Just like we are connected. We are all connected as a people. All of us. Whether you want to claim it or not, we are all connected as a people. And until we as a people understand that, we're stuck. But we'll get more into that in the future. All right. Now that we've clarified spiritual and religion, I'm gonna talk about zodiac. More than likely, we'll get into that in my next video. So you have your zodiac signs, one for each month. We have 12 months of the year. So you know your zodiac sign. Everybody does. You're either Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, or Pisces. Every zodiac is a different person. Every single one. Well, possibly, unless you were born on the same day and at the same time. And then, like, I actually have 2 daughters that were born with a small town. And they were born with a friend. And she was right down the hallway. And when I met them, when they got to, like, junior high school, her mom said to me, well, oh, so you were the person down the hall having the twins. Then yes, that was me. And their time of birth is very close. So all of them they're right there together. But still, all very different people. So, environmental factors do go into how you were raised, where you were raised, who raised you, what were you taught, how you were treated, and how you responded to how you were treated. All those things factor into who you are as a person. But the basic of who you are lies in when you were born. Where our spiritual heavenly bodies, when I say heavenly bodies, I don't mean anything, I don't mean gods. I simply mean the moon, the stars. Well, each star, is an actual similar entity to our sun. Um, certain rocks actually that are up there, and asteroids, and physical worldly bodies are placed at a place when we're born that help determine how we are as a person, believe it or not. So I've studied the zodiac for a while now, each sign, and there are different aspects of the zodiac. Most people know that, for instance, they're a Libra. What they may not know is that they have a moon in Cancer. For instance, myself, I'm an Aries. I have a moon in Sagittarius, and unfortunately, my Venus is in Taurus. So I'm very stubborn when it comes to love. Very stubborn, very demanding, this is how it's going to be. So basically, that's your zodiac signs. If you need to know where those planets were placed when you were born, you're going to be requesting what's called a natal chart. And basically, that's just a list of where each planet was at the time of your birth, the date and time of your birth. A natal report goes a little deeper. It's going to explain each personality trait that goes along with each planetary placement at the time and date of your birth. All right, so we're going to move on. Your zodiac gave birth to lots of different systems and different belief structures. But one of the things that gave birth to was tarot card reading. Actually, I take that back. The history of tarot card reading simply started as a card game. Later on, in which I'll get into that as well, there's going to be a whole video just on tarot. People, us, we began to put energies into those cards, energies into the meaning of the cards, and then began to relate them to the spiritual realm and ourselves. So basically, just as you, or urban legend, for instance, gives power to what we give power to. This universe gives power to what we give power to. For instance, just like the myth of Slender Man. They said that's something, an incident that became real because so many people gave it power. And it's the same thing for your tarot card deck. Each card tells a story and sends a message and has a meaning. Each card is represented by a zodiac sign, a planet, a number, what else we got on there? A date, and it sends a message. So what we do as tarot card readers is ask our spiritual guiders, those people, those ancestors, those entities that exist in the spiritual realm, to help us, to speak to us, and to speak through the cards to send us whatever messages that the universe may have for us. Okay. Next, as I just mentioned, we talked about spirit. Now, everybody's going to talk about evil. We're not going to talk a lot about evil. We're going to focus on the positive, because that's what we're here for. We're here for positive change. We are not here for the negative. When I say spirit, when you're your tarot card reader, your psychic, your channeler, when I say channeler, I mean those are those people that are speaking to people directly in the other realm. When they say spirit, We mean those people that exist, those entities that exist, simply in a realm parallel to ours. I will get into that too. So, me personally, when I speak to spirit, I'm speaking to my grandmother, who has moved on to that spiritual realm. I'm speaking to the spirit of my uncle, who's very dear to me, and moved on to that spiritual realm. My father, my grandfathers, my ancestors before me. So when I say spirit or my spirit guide, because we do all have a spirit guide or your guardian angels, they are there. That is very real, and we all have them. We're all born with them. So when we speak to spirit, that's what we're talking to. We're not invoking. Invoking means to call upon. We're not asking for or talking to anything evil. We're simply talking to those people that we love and trust, and who love and trust and are there to protect and guide us. That's what we're doing. We're seeking guidance. Okay, so we're going to move on. Soulmate. Everybody wants one, but there are different kinds. Some are good, some are bad, and I'll get into that. Angel numbers. Angel numbers are very important. Synchronicities are combinations of numbers that mean different things. So your angel numbers are going to be like 1111, which is 1111. There's a lot online about 1111. It's a very spiritual number. Um, of 333. 333. Seeing these numbers are going to speak. If you're looking at 333, you're looking at anything spiritual. That means the gods are on your side. Most of our religions are oriented in three somehow. When Christianity, you have the Holy Trinity. You have the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Within Wicca, you have the crone, you have the goddess, and then you have the maiden. So you've got three and a lot of different, and we'll get into that because I will be doing a video on spiritual numbers as well. So when you see these numbers constantly, if you're seeing fours or you're seeing twos, then you know that the universe is trying to tell you something. Your spirit guides, your angels, this is why we're calling them angel numbers, are trying to communicate something to you. They're trying to get your attention. They're trying to say, hey, listen. So, next, after numbers, of course, we're going to go on to numerology. Numerology is simply a system of taking numbers according to your name. Each number is relating to a letter of the alphabet, and they're added up in a way that tell us who we are or things about us. All right. Your third eye. That's your sixth sense. We don't actually have six senses. We have way more than six senses. I don't know why people say that. I don't know where that came from, but we have way more than six senses. But it's called your sixth sense because that's really how people understand it. And that's the best way I can explain it to you. Your psychic abilities. If you have premonitions, I personally have dream premonitions. I have yet to have an awake premonition, but I'm fine with that. I think I might freak out totally, no matter how evolved I say I am. If I was somewhere and I just blacked out and had a vision, I'd be like, wait, who put something in my drink? Where's Cosby? Okay, shh, I didn't say that. Next, we're going to talk about karma. Karma is basically, it's something that is present in every religion. In every single religion, that is one common thing that is pretty much spoken about universally. And that's basically in Christianity, it tells you to do unto others as they do unto you. In Wicca, it's and it harm none, do as you will. And in Hinduism and Buddhism, and I think there's a little more to it when it comes to Hinduism, because not only can you not do harm to others, and you need to treat others the way that you want to be treated, but you can't complain. If your job sucks, if your life sucks, if your husband sucks, you just be quiet, just suck it up. You do the honorable thing, and it's part of your journey. You just move on. So, destiny. Oh, Oh, how she can be cruel. Because that is the belief that even Christians who claim that they're not into anything supernatural, yes, you are, because everything based in that is supernatural. So, destiny, for Christians, that's when you say something like, try to tell God what you want to do, and He'll tell you, He'll show you His plan. He'll laugh at you. I've heard something similar to that several times. So that's what this means. Destiny is a preconceived path where we're supposed to end up, but we just don't know it yet. It's like saying you're along for the ride, and all you can do is look at the view, or you're being driven by a Google car. It's automated. We do have free will, and I have heard the term broken destiny. I actually went to a carnival. I was actually in Craven County, North Carolina. I went to their carnival there, and I actually sat down with, my first husband was there, and I actually sat down with a palm reader, a gypsy. And she told me that I wasn't supposed to be there. That basically, due to a lot of outside influence, my destiny had been broken. But that I would find my way back to my path. And I have. So, that's destiny. Manifest. I put destiny after manifest because, as I said, we have free will. Now, when I put the words together, it gives me a different meaning. Everybody may not interpret it this way, but I do. Manifest destiny is what I truly believe in. Yeah, there's somewhat of a path, and when I get into deja vu and things like that, I'll talk more about taking different paths or knowing that you're on the right path. However, I do believe that you can manifest your destiny 100%. It's like saying I am as opposed to I want. And in one of our videos, when I talk about manifestation, I'll be showing you how to do different rituals to help you along your way. One of them is a water manifestation. So basically, it's like when you say, I'm going to claim that. We're not going to say, I'm praying for healing, I'm hoping for healing. We're going to say, I am healed. I am healed. This cancer is gone. I am healed. This headache is gone. I am healed. This situation, it's over. I am prepared. I am done. I am ready. I have moved on. I am better. I am stronger. I am wiser. I am wealthy. Some people want to manifest money. We're not all here for the same thing, and I'm not here to judge. All right. So you get the point in that. Basically, there's another saying I heard, and I'm sure lots of you have heard it as well, that simply says, I think, therefore I am. And that's what that is. That's how you're manifesting. That's what manifestation is. Time travel. Go watch The Time Traveler's Wife. That's all I can tell you about time travel. There's a rumor or conspiracy theory that my favorite president, Obama, was involved in a time travel experiment once upon a time. So I don't know about that. There's a lot having to do with that. When I go talk about time travel, I'm going to be talking about agencies like CERN and all the conspiracy theories surrounding that type of thing. However, I do believe it exists, and like I said, that's another video for another day. Alternate universes. These two are going to run together, pretty much. Although, that'll probably be like a 3-part series, because there's so much involved with that. From quantum theory and string theory, all the way down. And we'll get there as well. Alternate universes basically is the theory that this is our Earth. We're going to call it Earth A. Where's my marker? Let me make a little section. So if you've got Earth A, this is home. This is us. This is our Earth. But right here is Earth B. And right here is Earth C. And the theory is that the possibilities of many, 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 many universes, possibly an infinite number of universes. So the theory with that is that I'm Missn Joy, and on this planet, this Earth, I'm also Missn Joy. There's another Missn Joy. And she did her video 2 hours ago because she got off work earlier than I did because her coworker came to work unlike mine. And in this universe, there's a Missn Joy, and she was sick today. So she didn't do her video, and she'll do her video in the morning. And then in Universe D, there's another Missn Joy, and she's taller than me, or slightly a little shorter than me, or slightly a little thinner than me. She only has 4 kids. That's where I have 5. She never married my first husband. She married the second husband. I've had 3. So, and then F, she married and stayed with the first husband. And she had 3 more kids. And you get my drift? You get my drift? It's all different there. So this is the theory, or this is basically what alternate universes and multiverse means. And I want to take one more second to say that one of the other theories related to this is that people that see spirits or experience deja vu and things of that nature, that is why. Because you may have seen somebody go by that's technically in this room in another universe. That they may actually exist in the same space. But because we're not conditioned to know it, due to the Matrix or whatever other theories are out there, I'm going to get into those as well, it's just an abnormal thing to us. It's like, oh my God, I saw a ghost. Not necessarily what it was. Like maybe you actually just saw yourself go by. Okay, I know it's weird. We'll get there. We'll get there. All right. Myth and folklore. I'm saying these two together because those are one other thing, just like spirituality and religion, that get crossed up. A lot of people don't know the difference. A myth is something that used to be a religion. It's religion or science or nature related. A myth is something that wants to explain. Myths were created to explain a phenomena. Created to explain why we live, how we were born, where we come from, how this planet evolved. Genesis is considered a creation myth. It very closely mirrors what the Dinka tribe, look it up, of Ghana, Africa. They actually have a creation myth that is very similar to Genesis. And as do a lot of other cultures. The theory of the Immaculate Conception, that is another myth that has spanned different religions and different cultures over time. So this is what's called a myth. Something that's going to explain something. Zeus threw lightning bolts. This was an explanation for lightning. That's a myth. Something that was meant to explain or justify something that was going on that we needed to understand. One theory about the whole belief in a God is that it's because we're simply the first creatures that are intelligent enough to contemplate our mortality. Basically, that means that we know we can die. We know we can walk outside, get hit by a car if we don't look both ways before crossing the street. And where do we go after we die is one of the biggest fears that people have. And there are many myths. Most myths are in some way created to lead up to an explanation of either A, where we came from, or B, where we're going after we leave here. All right. Now, folklore is more like, I'm from Long Island, New York. And there's a town there, Tarrytown, I think it was called. And that's one of the, which actually this particular myth, I just found out a few weeks ago. It's one of those things that people have, it's a story that's been told in several places. But the first time I became familiar with it is because of this particular town. And I was told that the particular myth with involving Ichabod Crane and the Headless Horseman was from that time in the Civil War area type of story. Where, of course, you know, the Headless Horseman, I forget exactly how it was done wrong, it was wronged, and so his ghost runs around with the head off or in his hand or on a horse. That would be a folklore. Other things such as certain stories. For instance, Thor, folklore. Let's see, what else is folklore? Anything that's more like Aesop's fable would be something that is considered folklore. Anything that is just a story that's passed down from generation to generation that may or may not be true, but really isn't based in religion or really isn't explaining anything, it's more kind of teaching or warning about something, that's more considered folklore. All right. Fairy tales. Fairy tales are a perfect example. I should have started with that. Folklore. All right. Now, those are all the definitions I have time to cover now. I don't even know. I may have to cut this video in half. I'm not sure how long it's going to let me post videos yet. This is my first video. So much I don't know. And trust, I'm going to get more comfortable with camera. And it'll be better from here. The last thing I wanted to touch on is people to know. So please come back for my next video and my series of videos, because I plan to be here with you, helping us all learn, helping us all grow, helping us all level up. That's going to be like my term for moving us from a 3D reality into a 4D reality, which is basically based on love and more spiritual connection with each other in this world. Because right now, there's a lot of ugliness out here, and we need to, as a combined people, put a stop to it. One thing I posted today on my Facebook page was that racism is the lowest form of reality. It's the lowest form of consciousness. If I could take away from the 3D and say that was a 2D experiment, that's lower. That's a lower vibration. That's what I'm looking for. A lower vibration than anybody should ever want to be on. To not accept it at this point in our universe, and when we're coming up on the year 2020, that we are all one. We are all one consciousness. We are all one people until we realize that we're going to be stuck in all this misery that we're all dealing with. So racism is one of the lowest vibrations. And for someone to say, and I hate the term woke, I hate that term, because most of the people that use it are so far from it. It's ridiculous, because if you're talking about your master race or what another race took from you, or how another race can't claim this or claim that or claim that or do this or do that or say this or say that, you're not woke. You're still asleep. You're still asleep. Let's move on from that. We are all one person. We are all one consciousness, regardless of what color we happen to pop out. Because as we all know, who we pop out of does not determine that color. All right. So as we move on, as I was saying, there are people I would like you to just go check it out. Just Google that person and see who they are. Maybe go to YouTube, because all of these people are on YouTube. And you know what? I don't know if she's on YouTube. I have to check that out. But I've known her, or followed her for years. Anyway, check some of these people out. They have good messages. They're very, very educated people. They're very moral people. They're good people to follow. And honestly, even if it's something that you don't believe in, for instance, if you're here saying that and you believe, you're Christian, you believe that my tarot cards are evil, still, you should know. You should study it and be able to tell me why you feel they're evil. If you believe in something and you can't argue that belief, then it's useless. Okay. So, check out some of these people. Really good stuff. And some of these people everybody knows, and some of these people nobody knows. But make it your business to know. Absorb all the knowledge that you can in this life so you can move on. Nikola Tesla. Study Nikola Tesla. Albert Einstein. Everybody knows Albert. A lot of people don't know how he related to this person. So they worked together. Go study that. Their work is evident in an organization that I'll be talking about. And a lot of conspiracy theorists will talk about. If you watch Mandela Effect videos and time travel videos, you'll hear about CERN. Okay? Brian Greene. I don't mean the one that was on 90210. I don't know if I'm saying his name right. Mikio Koku. Neil deGrasse Tyson. The people's astrophysicist. You gotta know this man. You must study him. You must study him. He has lectures. He has the most learned opinions. He's so very scholarly. And he makes about all the calls in 2019 on what's going on up there in the known universe. Astrophysicist. Susan Miller. To me, in my opinion, she's your top authority on astrology. Her mother was an astrologist, and she's been studying her astrology her entire life. It's something that came naturally to her, and she is very learned. So Susan Miller, she has her own astrology website, and she does horoscopes and for all kinds of publications and media sites. Susan Miller. Fernando Prudhomme. I ran across this man's videos by accident. I was studying the different characteristics of the zodiac signs, and I love this man. Not only is he educated, he's cultured, he is funny. He is funny, and he is real, and that's what I like. Anytime you go for a tarot card reading or you get a zodiac profile and it's all sunshine and rainbows, move on and throw it away. Because you want the truth. And Fernando is going to tell you the truth. He had some things to say about Pisces female that like floored me because I know one very intimately. And he explained her to the T. Now, what he had to say really wasn't a positive thing. It was but it was true. It was the truth. He'll tell you if your sign is subject to being a harlot. That's one of the words he used. He will let you know the nitty-gritty of your zodiac sign, or the person you're dealing with zodiac sign, or your children, or because a lot of people don't think about that. They only think about their zodiac sign related to finding love. Am I compatible with a Cancer? Am I compatible with a Scorpio? You don't think about the fact that you may need to find out why you don't get along with that child that you gave birth to, who's an incredibly strong-minded Sagittarius female. That was personal. Okay, Raymond Buckland. If you have any questions about Wicca or witchcraft, he's an author and he's an expert. Actually, I believed when they did the TV series Charmed, a lot of the information came from Raymond Buckland, and they even paid homage to him in that the first season of Charmed, the first few seasons, when there was a Prue, she worked at Buckland's auction house. So if you need to know anything about Wicca, you're going to study Raymond Buckland. And there's one other person I want to add here, and I hope I'm spelling this right. It's been a long time since I took world religions, but a lot of people don't know this. But Siddhartha, who is that? That's Buddha. He had a name. And we're going to talk a lot about Buddha and his journey, because basically I went on a similar journey. Now, I don't think I'm in this lifetime in consciousness ready to go the length that he did, but a lot of people could relate to the story of Buddha. So study Siddhartha, because a lot of people don't know when you say that name that is Buddha. So I've kept you long enough for today, and I hope I interested you enough to come back. And like I said, I'm here to teach, and along the way, I'm sure I will learn. I will have guest speakers, and we will discuss many, many topics. And some days, I'll just get up here and give you my opinion on something that has absolutely nothing to do with the spiritual. It may be something life-related, like relationships, and which is something also that Mr. Prudhomme discusses. He talks about types of relationships and just everything, just life in general. He talks about the origins of the earth. He talks about religion, and he is so. Oh, I love him. I love him. I'm hoping I get the opportunity to meet him one day. I'm in the process of reaching out to him. So, thank you for coming. I hope, like I said, I kept your attention long enough for you to want to return. I hope I get more comfortable in front of this camera, so I know I'm up here stuttering and nervous. And I'll see you next time, everybody. Level up.